Good morning. It is me, Pearl, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we're about to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine sides of ourselves. And we can glean things from people in our real lives from this information, but simply because people reflect back to us where our own energy is. So if we want to change or make changes in our environment and our material world, we have to change the energy inside of ourselves and shift and flow with it, come into balance in order to see those things happen outside of ourselves. Okay, good morning. I need a coffee. This is a strange world we live in. Divine Masculine gets to go first again because he beat Divine Feminine in terms of how much he's willing to share with us. Kidding me. All right. So let's get started. Divine Masculine, top of the deck. Overall, headspace for him, forefront of the mind. The Prince of Swords, aka the Knight of Swords. Good morning, Ash. In reverse. So, why does this have to be in reverse? Couldn't it be upright? Couldn't it be upright? Couldn't it be something he's thinking about wanting to do instead of something he's thinking about not wanting to do? That would just really be great. He wants to come in as the Knight of Swords with a strategy, with a plan towards Divine Feminine and reveal truths with integrity, chivalry, clarity. He does. He's resisting doing this. He's resisting doing it, but he is releasing the resistance that has been happening with this energy. He's trying to see himself fully capable of this, but he's super afraid of it. That's the reversal on it. It's just like he's just not really sure about what he's doing, if it's gonna be accepted by Divine Feminine. Like, he just doesn't know. He just really doesn't know. So he's resisting and fearful of this energy. He's also not wanting to be fully honest with himself. He's kind of enjoying being in the dark a little bit about why he does the things he does and having to carry that energy within himself and reveal the reasons for why he does things and kind of be honest and be like, oh yeah, I'm actually trying to prevent my happiness and success because I'm afraid of it. Is so cliche and like difficult to face. And so he's just not wanting to face the truth about himself, about how he's handled the situation, and how he has these plans that he's wanted to follow too, and also realizing that these plans they were made during a time when the world was different and what was going to happen between them was much more in his mind clear. And now there's been so much that has changed that the plans that he laid seem kind of irrelevant to him. And it's interesting because we didn't see this accompanied by a Knight of Wands energy. What we're seeing in the back of the mind is this: a man of worthiness, a man of the world, capable, here for it, the King of Pentacles. And it's like he's like, I'm going to bypass this because this is still the energy of a youth. And I'm actually going to be in my power as a king. And, he's afraid that he doesn't quite have what it takes to embody this kind of youthfulness anymore. But he's willing to put aside the plans that he made, this idea that he thought the way things were going to be, all of the things that have been holding him back. He's sort of like willing to put them aside right now and be the protector and be the provider and just embody this energy that really we've been wanting to see from him for a long time, because we keep getting this King of Pentacles in reverse, in reverse, in reverse. And finally it's here and it's upright. The first thing on his mind is Divine Feminine and her Queen of Cups energy. It seems to him that this Divine Feminine is in her loving, compassionate kindness, that she is in command of her emotions, that she's flowing with them, that she's able to express them appropriately, that she's being psychic and intuitive and just really being in this beautiful energy. And he's really seeing her lovingly and like she's very open to him and approachable. And he's also wanting to integrate this energy within himself, this command of the emotions. He wants to combine the power, the protection, the fertility, the abundance, the authority that comes with the Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. He wants to unite that with his own Queen of Cups, that integrated divine feminine, the nurturing, compassionate, kind, in command of her emotion, but able to express. Unlike the King of Cups, this queen is able to express. And so he's thinking about channeling this energy from his divine feminine, thinking of her in that energy, and also taking on some of that energy so that he can do this Ace of Pentacles. He has had aces up the wazoo the last few days. Probably uncomfortable for him. But new energy. He had the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups many times. And now we see the Ace of Pentacles alone. It has followed the Queen of Cups, as in this is who he wants to give this offer to. And he's finally feeling in his worthiness, or thinking about himself in his worthiness of being able to give her this offer. He's realizing how significant the offer is, not just because of his comfort in finances, which it does look like he has some more comfort here than he has in the past, but it's not just about that. He's just realizing that it doesn't matter what he brings to the table. He's been dealing with that, worrying about that, and he's realizing that he is enough. He has enough. The shuffled music today I took note of. The first song was Be Mine by Alabama Shakes. And it was pretty basic. Just, be mine. The divine masculine. It's actually sung by the divine feminine, but it came during his shuffle and the energy of it belongs to him. And it's just like a very possessive song, definitely this King of Pentacles energy, and another card that's coming up too, but a possessive feeling of like, you're my Queen of Cups, like be mine. And, there's no one else that's really going to be able to do it for you like me, kind of a thing. After that, the song Broke by Jason Derulo came on, and that's more money, more problems. If I was flipping burger on the night shift, would you choose me? Would you let me take you home if I drove a hoopty? Because every time I see you, I'll be screaming hallelujah, but you're all about the Benjamins. I see right through you. So it's like this question of like, he's doubting whether this divine feminine really does have this, because he's heard from her before, like, I don't care about the money, but he's doubting that in his mind still. He's still kind of dealing with it, but he's feeling like he has enough despite that anyway. And then Divine Feminine song, just to finish the songs that were played, was My Brightest Diamond song, Escape Routes, which is, it takes a lifetime to learn how to love. It starts with a flicker that bursts into flame. Then it fades to an ember with fights and with fingers pointing out blame. Oh, to exercise the act of falling in love with you over and over and over. Let's close off all our escape routes. Let's not put it off tonight. We can have it all tonight. It takes a lifetime to learn how to love. Most of the time I'm taking too much in my turn, but I yearn for your closeness and a gentle return. My arms snake around yours, your lips open, explore these promises we have saved. They hold us, they hold and maintain. It's a gorgeous song, actually. One of the greatest performers. I love her. She's amazing. My Brightest Diamond. So good. Okay. So that was the music today. Divine Masculine definitely in the headspace of being possessive and worried about his coin. So that kind of really fits. But this hopefulness that it really isn't about money, that it's about something more than that. And it's really funny. This Prince of Swords card will not stay upright. It keeps flipping around and around. And it's kind of like that energy of that divine masculine really being nervous about coming in with that energy, knowing that he must, being nervous about it, really not wanting to admit the truth to himself, to divine feminine. It's like all bound up in that. Then we have the Three of Wands in reverse. So divine masculine, thinking of the Queen of Cups, giving her this Ace of Pentacles, and then the Three of Wands. This release of this waiting. It's impatience, but it's not just impatience. It's we don't need to wait anymore. The pieces are in place. I'm in my King of Pentacles energy. I have the Ace of Pentacles prepared. It's time. And look at this union. It almost looks like this ace is what this individual is reaching for. And they're about now to put this piece down onto the earth that they were just waiting to fall into place. And it's here. And it's time to party. There's the Three of Cups. And it's clarifying the Queen of Cups. So it's about divine feminine. Now, there was that energy of possessiveness in that first song, the Be Mine possessiveness. But it's not wanting this divine feminine to be in another relationship, really wanting her to remain single. But also it's time for them to come into that reunion to celebrate because the offer is ready. It's ready. Here's the doubt. It's not entirely doubt. It's the Six of Wands in reverse, and it's going to be mirrored over in Divine Feminine's headspace in a bit. But the doubt is, it's not so much about whether or not he's going to have victory, although he is afraid, because what he's doubting is that his offer is good enough, because we know he loves to doubt that. He is also not wanting this to be a solo victory, because in this deck, this is a victory achieved by himself, and he wants this to be a shared victory between the two of them. There's the divine feminine energy there of the Strength card. It's also the pride and the ego. He's wanting to have victory over pride and ego in regards to the size of this offer. So he's not wanting to let pride get in his way. He wants this to be a shared victory. And then we have this last thing in his mind. This is what is making me feel that this isn't entirely about impatience. It's more about him feeling this strong foundation, like the mundane things are in place. All of those pieces have fallen into place. The structure here for them to be able to have this victory and celebrate is here. He is also grasping and clinging a little bit to the relationship, that possessiveness that's like mine. I don't want anyone else to have you kind of a thing. Like there's a little bit of attachment still there that probably needs to be worked through, just gonna say. But let's go to the heart space now. Top of the deck, overall feeling of the heart space. Page of Pentacles. He cannot get rid of this card, but it was like this yesterday where he was, considering this offer. Is it big enough? Is she going to think it's big enough? I don't know if it's big enough. Always worried about the size. But he's turning his back on this energy. We're also seeing the obstacles that he's had to overcome to bring this offer. He's feeling that, if it weren't for these obstacles that he's had to overcome, he would have so much more to offer her. But his journey is such that he comes to her only with this. And he's trying to turn his back on this energy where he's just standing there and analyzing and trying to assess whether this is good enough and just go ahead and march through those obstacles right to her. Now, what is under this? Because it's the vice versa. Oh my Lanta. The Knight of Wands is under there. So it didn't come out in the spread, but it is hovering there very close to the surface. The impulsiveness, the rashness, he's trying to keep that in check. He didn't let it come out fully into this reading. The vice versa deck just let us cheat. Okay. So the niggling feeling, the 6 of Swords. And we could have seen this in the more traditional from the back view here, but we don't. We actually see them in the boat, and we see where they're coming from. They're coming out of this darkness. They're coming out of a cave. This is the coming out of the cave from the Work Your Light deck, the expression that needs to happen, that needs to take place. This, like, having used the suffering and the strife and the struggles to ferry them away, because where they were is so bad. Where they're going is unknown, but where they were in the past is there's so much darkness there. Really, really, it doesn't matter where they're going. Wherever they're going is going to be better than where they've been. And they've been using these struggles between them to expand them, to get them to this place where they can leave behind this darkness. Also, the Divine Feminine is holding a chalice. It's like she's got her cup of self-love. It's this energy of the Divine Feminine kind of hanging on to the emotions and the intuition and helping Divine Masculine understand what this journey has been about. So that niggling feeling is sanctuary, that they are finally going to be able to go to sanctuary. First thing in his heart space, he is really hoping Divine Feminine will not be in this energy towards him, bound and blind with her defenses up. He's wanting her to be open when he approaches her. He's hoping that this standstill, that where she hasn't wanted to make a choice, he hasn't wanted to make a choice, he's hoping that this hasn't caused her to choose not to accept the offer, because he's going to bring it. But he's got to get through this first. There's our Queen of Wands. But he can't see her yet because he's got to cut through all this ancient history. He's got to disentangle from all of these things that are embedded and rooted in this blockage between them, because he wants to give this Queen of Wands this Ace of Pentacles, but he's got to get it through all of this ancient history. Look at this ancient history between them. He's got to be able to cut through that by revealing himself. Here's our 7 of Swords in its reversal. What's it time to do? What have the pieces fallen into place so that he can properly do this? He can unveil. He can reveal to Divine Feminine what his true happiness is. This is his true happiness. There's that 10 of Cups back. Them together, united, is his true happiness. Being able to manifest what they want onto the earth. That full spectrum of happiness. Here's atonement, judgment. Over the 6 of Wands here. This is the salvation. In victory for him, there is salvation. If he can share this victory, if he can have victory over himself, over his fears about what he brings to the table, he will be free. I can't fucking make this up. Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, both of them we can see. Both of them are here, manifest and physical, in the Divine Masculine headspace. And both are supported there by the foundation of that 4 of Pentacles, right? Wow. All right. Divine Masculine did not disappoint today. I like that trend. All right, Divine Feminine, let's take a look. It looks like you're not too far off from Divine Masculine, in some ways. the first thing, the forefront of your mind, the overall headspace for you, Divine Feminine, is the King of Cups, a match to Divine Masculine's Queen of Cups. So he is in the forefront of your mind. How did that happen, Divine Feminine? Aren't you supposed to be in the forefront of your mind? No shame. No shame. I'm one of you. Alas, dear friends. Here's the King of Cups in the forefront of your mind again. He is the greatest king in some respects. He is compassionate, kind, caring, intuitive, psychic, just, brave, true, loving, in command of his emotions, but he does not express them directly. So you have to rely on his body language and the words he says and the songs he picks for his playlists to figure out what's going on, which is infuriating to you. But you're looking at this king in the light traits. You're thinking of all the wonderful aspects of him. And you're also wanting to embody this energy yourself, which is that you have command over your emotions and you don't fully express them, and you're not just an open book for this divine masculine to be able to read. You want to have some of your own privacy. The niggling thought in the back of your mind is the High Priestess energy, and it is the Fountain High Priestess, and she is a fierce queen. She's the goddess of the moon. She's fully embodied in her crone energy while also still embodying the maiden and like the mother. She's all three parts. She's the Trinity. She's balanced divine masculine and divine feminine within. She's androgynous. She's high above. She's intuitive and she's very psychic. This is the foundation of your headspace, your trust in your intuition. Right now, you are trusting your intuition, and your intuition is showing you, even in the colors, in the color schemes of these two cards, that it is safe to have this at the forefront of your mind right now. You are trusting your own intuition. Friends might not agree. Your tarot reader might not agree. Your friendly tarot reader. But you're trusting your own intuition about it. You are trusting, but you are not ready yet to fully accept the death of this King of Cups. I love you, babe. I'm struggling here. For myself included, damn it. So, you are trusting in this transformation, that something has happened, that there is this rebirth of this connection. And this is Temperance. So, you are needing to be in temperance. You are needing to be in a place where you are trusting in this divine healing that's going on. The balancing of the energy, balance is a big one for you. Look at the imbalance of death, right? There's an imbalance in the death card. There's darkness before light. The High Priestess balances, she holds the space between light and darkness. Temperance is all light. So temperance is what beats back the grief from loss, that brings you that rebirth, that brings you that transformation. Thank you, Alicia, for that. So you're in your temperance energy. You know you need to be in it. You know that this is going to protect you from self-harm, protect you from the sabotaging behaviors, etc. And it's going to help you navigate this transformation that you feel taking place, because you're not yet ready to put down this burden. You are going to stand your ground. You are in your Seven of Wands. You're going to stand your ground. You're going to hold your position against opposing forces. Now, those opposing forces are some of your own warnings that come from yourself, but you are feeling that your intuition is telling you to keep this divine masculine at the forefront of your mind right now. So you're holding your position against any willingness to fight off, to put down the burden. You're not ready yet. So you're going to stay on your ground. Remember, that is a bit about fighting yourself. Just warning you. Just warning you. but this is your headspace. Here's your Nine of Pentacles. So you're single and you're independent, and you have coin that you are able to work with at the moment. You are feeling that you are in a place where you can reward yourself. But this is what you want to bring death to. Self-indulgence, right? Which is why you need the help of your Temperance card. You want to stop being so self-indulgent because this is what is preventing you from rebirth. It is preventing you from rebuilding this tower, because here's our Tower card. But again, it is in its reversal. You're still not able to rebuild this tower. Now, part of that is because Divine Masculine needs to initiate the rebirth, right? But this is your own headspace. You're wanting to end your own self-indulgent behavior. You're also wanting to not be single anymore, too. You're like death to single life. Like there's also that. But understanding that without temperance, there can be no rebuilding of this tower. So you need to be doing this balancing. You need to be going and figuring out, okay, what do I need to temper? I know what I need to temper. Y'all know what I need to temper if you follow me every day. Yeah. Self-indulgence. You got to curb it. So your head is really thinking about this. You're realizing that your King of Cups, your King of Cups is what you are being self-indulgent about. I'm just going to leave that there for you. You know, you're thinking it's about substances. It might be, but that might just be a reflection of the fact that you're still allowing your King of Cups. You're being self-indulgent. You're not putting down. You're not allowing that death to take place. You're not allowing that temperance energy to take place. You're standing your ground against yourself. You're allowing yourself to be self-indulgent, and it's blocking you from rebuilding this connection because you're focused on this silent King of Cups from the past. Goddamn. All right, Divine Feminine. Now, let's look at your heart space. The top of the deck, forefront, overall feeling of the heart space is the Knight of Swords, which is mirroring Divine Masculine's forefront of his headspace. Remember, this was kind of flipping up and over and around. So this is a shifty energy for him, but he's not wanting to tell the truth. He's not wanting to be truthful with himself. You, however, are feeling willing to be truthful with yourself, to bring clarity, to have a strategy, to have a plan, because you can tell by your headspace that you are resisting doing something that is preventing you from rebuilding this tower. So you're willing to be honest with yourself about it, which I love. The niggling feeling in your mind, heart, not mind, but heart, sorry, is the mirrored feeling of Divine Masculine's headspace, the Six of Wands in reverse. So you are in union in the presence of victory here. Divine Masculine wants to have victory over his feelings about not being worthy. You are having victory over not being honest with yourself. But you're also this niggling feeling, which is in alignment here with this High Priestess feeling of trusting your intuition. Your niggling feeling is telling you that you're going to be victorious over this energy, this transformation. You're going to be victorious over the rebuilding of the tower. And it's going to come from total honesty, total clarity, not just from a physical Divine Masculine who I know you're thinking about. You're like, yeah, he needs to be honest with me. He needs to tell me the truth. He needs to tell me what's been going on. And you're like, okay, you need to tell yourself what's been going on, because I just told you that your self-indulgence is about this King of Cups. Okay, so you're needing to bring the same kind of honesty to yourself, which is like, oh, I let thoughts of my King of Cups and my focus on him and my belief that I'm not complete without him block me from being able to rebuild a connection with him, because I can't rebuild a connection with him if I'm not in union with myself. And if I need someone outside of me to make me feel like I'm in union, then I'm not in union. Blink, 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 blink. And so if I want to be able to rebuild this connection, I need to be honest with myself and understand that I am just using thoughts of divine masculine. I'm resisting putting down the burden of him because I'm afraid to focus on myself. Because I'm afraid that I'm not enough, because I am exactly like divine masculine. I am exactly like him, because when I read for him and I'm like, oh, his worthiness is a problem. He sees himself as a loser. He's still looking at his offer as it's not being big enough. It's not good enough. And you're like, this divine masculine needs to get his shit together. Of course he's good enough. I wouldn't like him if he wasn't good enough. Like, what does he think? Right? What he thinks is what you think. You just express your worthiness differently. He expresses his lack of worthiness by his focus on the material, his focus on whether he has enough money, whether his foundation is good enough, whether his dick is big enough, metaphorically speaking, because it is energy, not gender. You focus on him because you don't feel good enough to focus on yourself, because you're afraid to focus on the material, because you're afraid to focus on your coin. You're afraid to focus on the masculine worth energy inside of you because it is not good enough. That is how you feel. So you focus on him instead of yourself. That's the kind of truth you have to bring from your heart space. Your heart space is like, soak that in, honey. Soak it up. That's the truth. That is why you can't see him. That is why there is not a physical manifestation of him, because you aren't being in your masculine worth energy. You're being in his. First thing in your heart space is 9 of Swords. So this is the 8 of Swords in self-sabotage, self-protection, graduating to complete self-sabotage, and you can't sleep. You're up all night. You're needing substances to help you sleep because you're constantly thinking and overthinking and worried and anxious about putting down the burden of this divine masculine. You're so afraid that when you release this attachment to the specific person, that you will never recover. Here's the 10 of Swords, clarifying death. That you will never recover from the grief from this loss. That you will never recover from the pain of losing who? The Emperor. But when you lose the Emperor, you lose the rigid controlling structure that you've implemented in your own head over yourself, over what will constitute an appropriate version of you, one that's good enough to focus on. This is what is healing within you. This angelic energy is healing this rigid, controlling, dictatorial, controlling energy inside of you. We're going to depose this Emperor. He's no longer going to rule your heart. You are going to rule your heart. Because ironically, until you do that, you can't be with this Emperor. So this is what's healing within you. And as that heals within you, that also heals the divine masculine part, because that's the divine masculine worth energy. Being healed into the light traits of the Emperor, with the shadow traits being removed. The Hierophant is here. Marriage, sacred union, legal contracts, rigid authority figures, limiting belief systems. This is what you're fighting off. You're fighting off these old, ancient, traditional beliefs about the feminine and the masculine, so that you can come into the light and learn the higher lessons of sacred union. And then look at this. Here's your Nine of Pentacles. Here's yourself. What is clarifying this? The Queen of Cups. There's your union with Divine Masculine. He can see it. You can feel it. In your own heart, you are the Queen of Cups. Worth focusing on. In command of your emotions. Kind, compassionate, loving, caring, considerate. Worth rewarding your own self, because this is who you've become. And then the overfeeling in your heart space that's clarifying. Oh my God. This tower that's in reverse. The Eight of Swords. So there's your 8, 9, 10 of Swords. This completion of this painful separation, the ending that you have been causing by your refusal to focus on your own self, your continued focus on this King of Cups. Remember, this is your head space and your heart space. So this is you realizing what has been going on in your head and your heart. So we have the Eight of Swords and we have the Eight of Cups, with your heart really begging you, walk away from this tower. Walk away. Do not try to rebuild this tower. Walk away from what doesn't serve you. This behavior doesn't serve you. Trying to rebuild this tower doesn't serve you, because this tower belongs to this emperor that you need to release and allow to heal in this temperance energy. So you have to walk away, even from some of the good feelings, even from some of the things that the memories that are good. You're walking away from the bad and the good, and you're going towards your higher calling. Your higher calling is towards yourself, towards your healing. Nine of Pentacles, single, independent, fabulous. This is where you are going. I know you're going to want to resist it. Especially after seeing Divine Masculine side, you're like, oh, hell no. But he's the King of Pentacles. But if he comes in this energy, the rigid, controlling, fixed energy, then he's still not healed. If he comes in healed, jump on it, girl. But how is he going to come in healed if you're not healed yet? Let's look at the oracles. Y'all got a bunch of oracles today, and I mean a bunch. The Moonology deck was coughing them up. Okay. Also, I see one of them and I'm mad about it. Okay, so Divine Masculine, you're in the shadow attributes of the Liberator, which is imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate and ignoring legitimate constraints. So the Divine Masculine is definitely here, ignoring legitimate constraints and imposing his own tyranny over the Divine Feminine that he's claiming to liberate. Come into the light. Free yourself and others from outmoded beliefs. Release negative thought patterns. Stop trying to control Divine Feminine to fit your own agenda. Teacher, you're in the light attributes, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. So you are in the place where right now this is boosted within you to teach others, to learn from your own mistakes, to learn from yourself. Use this teacher energy to move into the light attributes of the Liberator, because you should not be imposing tyranny over others for personal gain. Your guardian angel is here. This is in its reversal, and this is a Nine of Pentacles energy. This is about reward, about rewarding of the self, and about the reward being appropriate. It's an emphasized card, you're going to get your reward. You just need to trust. You just need to trust. You need to be peaceful about it and believe in it. And also, don't try to restrict the Divine Feminine with the possessive stuff either. I'm getting a sense the be mine, she needs to be focused on me. She does not. She absolutely does not. You need to be focused on you. You focus on you. Saint Christopher, safe travel. So if you're planning to travel, divine masculine, just in general, you're protected in this travel. This could also be about soul searching, like hermit energy, about going within. It's about feeling that God is with you on this journey. It's about acknowledging that you are safe on this journey, that you can't really make mistakes. Everything you do, you're learning from in that teacher energy. I am standing on the leading edge of thought. Just as all your experiences from the time of your birth into your physical body until now have culminated into who you now are. All that has ever been experienced by all that is has culminated into all that is now being experienced in the physical life experience on planet Earth. So you are in your full energy. You are standing on the leading edge. And everything that you've experienced up until this point has been this part of this co-creation, this magical process of co-creation that you have with the divine, with your higher self. All right, these are all your Moonology cards, and you got a butt ton of them. Hold your vision, divine masculine. A new romantic cycle begins. Nothing is yet set in stone, so don't get comfortable believing anything until you achieve what it is that you are looking for. Believe in the impossible. That's the card I'm pissed about. If you know me, you know why. Prosperity lies ahead. Hold your vision. There is a new romantic cycle coming. Nothing is set in stone, so stop trying to use all these excuses about what you think has happened or what has gone down. Nothing is set in stone. Believe in the impossible. Prosperity does lie ahead for you if you can do that. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries, divine masculine? There is definitely third-party energy that crosses boundaries with you and you just kind of let it happen. You need to establish better boundaries. You might need to establish better boundaries with divine feminine too, but there is something that you're just either not clearly delineating the boundaries that need to be set. You need to think about where you need to set them. All right, my new deck here, the Spirit Animal Oracle. We're going to read the Oracle message from the Elephant Spirit, which is learn from the past. Although we often wish we could leave the past behind, Elephant Spirit reminds us that memory matters. We must respect the wisdom of the elders who hand down to us traditions they have shaped to express our connection to each other and respect for the community. What has come before informs what we are experiencing today, and we must never forget our legacy of strength and dignity. Elephant Spirit appears with the message that we are to acknowledge that which came before and learn from it. All of us are memory-based creatures, and we must revisit the past to understand where we are and where we are going. The stories of events you have experienced, the stories in our collective memory, and the stories of relationships you have had can be told many ways. What story will you tell? Elephant Spirit is here to encourage you to make it one that stirs in you a sense of power and dignity, for you have honored yourself by choosing to learn from your past. Spirit rejoices at your willingness to learn and grow. So this teacher energy combined with this Six of Swords energy, this willingness to learn from your past seems to be what this Elephant Spirit is helping you really process from today's reading. That learning from the struggles and strife that have happened between you and divine feminine, and just in general in the relationships that you had in your past, are starting to help you see how it is that you can heal on this journey. All right, divine feminine, not so bad for you. You did get a few Moonology cards, but not quite so many. Okay. You are in the light attributes of the Saboteur, which is good to know because you had a lot of that going on in your headspace, girl. This is highlighting your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. Wow, 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 wow. The last 2 days of the reading, we have thought a lot for the divine feminine about how I even had a whole spiel at the end of my reading. If you stayed tuned to the very end of my reading, I usually sum up some stuff at the very end. And in that summation yesterday, I was talking about my own self, how I was procrastinating. A Leo talking about themselves. So strange, says my Pisces. My Pisces rising. Okay, all right, calm down, the two of you. Anyway, when I was talking about myself yesterday, what I was saying is I was procrastinating, but I wasn't allowing myself to say that I was procrastinating. I don't know why. I actually finished the statement, which was, I'm procrastinating because I'm afraid of success. And then I talked about how once you learn this stuff, it's so difficult to you can't unthink it. So I was definitely coming into this light attribute, and today we're seeing it very, very starkly. We saw 8, 9, and 10 of swords, right? Coming at us hardcore for divine feminine, with the idea that her realization that she cannot rebuild the tower until she tempers this energy of this 8 of swords, this self-protective energy. Because if we reframe sabotage as protection, we understand that we are just trying to help ourselves. We're just like, oh no, you do not. How are you going to handle that level of fame, notoriety, money, love, insert whatever it is here? A lot of people have died in your life. What if you get together with this divine masculine and then he fucking dies? Like, that's going to happen to you again? I don't think you can handle that. I think you should probably throw up some obstacles in your way so that this good stuff can't come to you, because you could lose it. You can't go. What's going to happen if you lose it, though? Like, I don't know, right? That's self-protection. It's self-protection. If you can go to that part of yourself and just gently, pat it on the head and say, hey, thank you. Thank you so much for trying to protect me from my success. I understand that you're afraid that it could cause bigger problems, like that Broke song by Jason Derulo, more money, more problems. Like, I hear you. I feel your fear and I understand. But at the same time, I feel like we could afford a therapist, though, if we were a little more successful. And then, maybe things wouldn't be so, tough. And then the other part of yourself might be like, I don't know, therapy might not be good either. Find ways to work with the part of you that's trying to protect yourself. It's a scared inner child. It's like, when that happened last time, the whole world ended. Like, that person died. That person is dead. And I'm still in pain about it. And nobody's been able to make me feel better for all these years. So, what if that happens again? That part of yourself has to be soothed, or you will just keep putting obstacles up. So you have to go back to those limiting beliefs. You have to go back to that little child. You have to figure it out. You have to take your fish oil on time in the morning. Which I did. Phone, you're being very bossy. I did take my fish oil already. Anyway, you have to figure it out. But you're in the light attributes right now because you are realizing that you're afraid of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. And once you get that, and you start to see yourself sabotaging, you're like, oh, I see what this is. And I'm going to deal with it because I want to be able to afford a therapist, or whatever. All right, let's go into the next archetypal energy. You are also in the light attributes of the artist, which is expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the 5 senses and inspiring others to see life symbolically. So you're in your creative energy. You're really able to tap into that intuition. You've got the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess. You're very intuitive right now. You're very in your feminine, very fertile, abundant with the ideas and creative. So tap into that energy and inspire others to see life symbolically along with you, because it is fun. Oh, I'm so excited, everybody. Here is the St. Francis of Assisi card, my husky. All right, I'm getting it. Unless the no card comes out, I'm checking. Okay. Ready for my dog. I'm ready for my companion. This is a card of companionship. It's about unconditional love, loyalty, St. Francis of Assisi loved the smallest beings. You know, there was no being on the planet. I don't even think he could have been cool with being vegan and feeling safe, because he felt that same kind of love for plant life that he felt for animals. Like, it's really just, he was, the smallest thing was delightful. There was pleasure in the smallest things. And there's this kind of support and love for you right now. If you have companion animals, it's good to connect with them. If you want one, it's an emphasis, like it's time to call that animal in. And I'm excited. I'm on day 5 of my manifestation spell that I'm doing, and then I can start a new one, and that's the husky is next. Okay. Heaven is watching over you. So your guardian angel is here to let you know that you've got that nurturing, protective, loving energy. Nothing bad is going to happen to your in this constant companionship with the divine, and they're just watching over you. You're so safe and so protected. My life is supposed to be fun. Be easy about all of this. Life is supposed to be fun, you know. It is Abraham's powerful desire that you return to your state of self-appreciation. We want you to feel love for your life, for the people of your world, and most of all for yourself. There is great love here for you. So if you're in this place and it looks like with your heart and your headspace, all those swords, all the overthinking, all of the worries, the focus, taking the focus off of yourself, you know, all of these things, this is a lot of energy that's very serious. And you want to lighten up. You want to be lighter. You want to join Divine Masculine over here in his thoughts of celebrating this manifestation and be in a lighter energy, because this is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be this serious. There's not as much hanging on this manifestation as you think right now. Conclusions are within reach. And remember, I can reach this laptop. I don't have to get up. I don't have to walk to it. It's right here, right in front of me. That's how close these conclusions are. Don't let your past hold you back. That elephant spirit that came out for Divine Masculine, this is here for you too. Do not let your past hold you back, Divine Feminine. Don't let these thoughts of the past, worries about the past, worries about what's happened in the past, worried about what the kind of Divine Masculine in your life was like in the past. Focus more on the future. Here's another, this is coming with this nurturing card. Heaven is watching over you. You and your loved ones are safe and protected. You don't have to worry right now. Everything is going to be just fine. You're watched over by a heavenly guardian. Be bold and make the first move, Divine Feminine. You are afraid of success. So whatever that success is in your mind right now, I want you to be bold and make the first move towards it. And then play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. So that is two cards that have that message. Do not be so serious. Be in the 3 of Cups energy. Have fun. Schedule a play date with somebody. Do a virtual, get day drunk with someone virtually if you're able to do that in a safe way and it's not a triggering substance for you. Have a good time. Okay, Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation, but we're getting the protection message because this card was coming in its reverse. So the protection message for this card is, Beaver Spirit has come to warn you to check for rotten wood in the foundations of your dreams. Perhaps you built your hopes on faulty promises or wishful thinking that something would work out just because you wanted it to. Maybe you made choices from a place of unworthiness. Who, me? Hoping that once you got what you desired, it would somehow change you and make everything better. What? We never do that. And you had to face the truth that it didn't. Or Beaver Spirit may be telling you it is time to accept things as they are and perhaps consider abandoning the project, relationship, or situation so you can make room for something better. Okay. Perhaps you need to go back and rebuild a solid foundation. Wow, that Eight of Cups that was clarifying this Tower card. So weird. Because what you desire may not be in alignment with what your soul intends. Beaver Spirit says you can always get busy and build something fresh and new if the desire is true. All manner of miracles can spring up from a new strong foundation when you remember your partnership with Spirit. Be clear about what you're building and why, choosing from a place of worthiness, well-being, and wholeness. Self-understanding and acceptance will provide you with a solid blueprint to begin again. Get busy now. Beaver Spirit says this is not a time to procrastinate, but a time to start building again, always mindful of the foundation you are laying and trusting that Spirit is co-creating with you. All right, get building. No more procrastinating, but have fun, play. Like what you're doing should fill you with that kind of energy that you'd have when you started a project when you were a child and you just get lost in it. All right, let's wrap up. We've got the bottom of the deck for the couple. This is all the final advice for you both. Right now, you are in the light attributes of the rescuer, which is provide strength and support to others in crisis and acts out of love with no expectation of reward. So you are acting out of love. You are no longer assuming that the rescued will reciprocate, and you're not keeping the rescued ones needy either. You're just providing strength and support to others without having any expectation of a reward. Your guardian angel is here to support you in sleep, rest, rejuvenation, waking up in the best frame of mind possible to be able to be in this union together. Life is always in motion, so I cannot be stuck. It is not possible to stand still or be stuck because energy and therefore life is always in motion. Things are always changing. The reason it may feel to you as if you are stuck is because while you are continuing to think the same thoughts, things are changing, but they are changing to the same thing over and over. Yeah. You're thinking the same thoughts about each other. So when the changes happen, it's just changing to that same thing. Back to what you're thinking, back to what you're thinking. So you need to change the thoughts that you're having in order to get past this energy. You must work through your fears. You really have to do the work. Oh, I'm so excited about the next card, especially because, oh my gosh, okay, sorry. But this one is mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Remember, divine couple, if you're triggered by one another, you're really triggered by something inside of yourself. So you need to look in the mirror and ask, how am I doing this to myself? And here is why I am very excited. I haven't gotten this card before. And it came on the day with my animals card. I'm getting my husky because this is dog spirit. Be loyal to what you love. But we're getting the protection message for the two of you. So the protection message is loyalty to people and situations can turn into attachment that results in stagnation, enmeshment, and loss of integrity. Do you fear what will happen if you let a relationship evolve? Are you afraid that asking for a situation to change will make others see you as disloyal? Trust that when dog spirit appears, you are meant to accept the turning of the wheel of life and the changing of fortunes. If you feel you are being betrayed or are growing apart from someone, let dog spirit reconnect you with your commitment to love in all its forms. Perhaps a relationship is meant to evolve. Perhaps you are meant to evolve too, so that you can experience the growth for which your soul yearns. Your greatest loyalty is to love, so be open to all its many guises, including self-love. You deserve the best, and that is what Spirit wants for you. Wow. Okay. Not only am I going to get my dog, but this idea that what you have to be loyal to is love. And the possessiveness that the divine masculine is feeling in his worldly material world manifestation where he's not wanting divine feminine to be with anyone else, even though he's not come forward and asked for her himself, which is a very selfish place to be. Divine feminine's loyalty cannot be to a divine masculine who will not come. It has to be to love itself. To be loyal to love is to be loyal to self-love. And self-love insists that you have what you desire. And if what you desire is a partner who can physically express with you in the 3D, then you must be loyal to that self-love and allow this relationship you have been longing for to evolve to something else. And divine masculine, if that makes you uncomfortable, you have to be loyal to your love of self. And if your love of self insists that you manifest and come forward, then you must do that. And if you cannot, because you are not healed, then you must be loyal to love and allow divine feminine to evolve. If you are not willing to evolve, you cannot hold her back. That is disloyal. Got it? All right. The goddess to close out our reading today is, I think it's Etain. I think. But Etain, whose name literally means shining one, was a Celtic moon goddess, the second wife of Midir, king of the underworld. Midir's first wife, Fuanmach, was jealous of Etain and turned her into a fly. Falling into a glass of wine, Etain drowned. She was reborn and married Eochaid, a fertility god. Midir challenged Eochaid to a game of chess. The result was that Etain must spend half of her year underground and half on earth, like Persephone. Etain is especially a symbol of fertility, of the vitality and life of all growing things, a goddess familiar with both life and death. She teaches that wherever we are, on earth or in the depths of the underworld, we too can be shining. So this is the star energy, and also this moon goddess energy too. So there's that underworld, that subconscious dream space. We still have the divine feminine in this state for the collective. All right, that was today's reading. It was very interesting. I learned a lot. I'm going to have to go back and watch and grind it into my head some more, because I'm not entirely here when I do these readings. And then I go back later and I'm like, damn, okay, damn. Divine masculine, it looks like you are ready. Go for it. Divine feminine, it looks like you are still really needing to make sure that this is about you, honey. And if he comes in before you have this worked out, ooh, you might be looking at separation again, or a very rocky start to what could be a lot easier, a lot simpler of a flow if you've got the whole thing in order. Self-love. This is your key to happiness. Providing for yourself, focusing on yourself, loving yourself. You can love divine masculine as much as you want, but when you love divine masculine, you are really loving yourself. Really, 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 really. You think you're not, but you are, because you're a mirror. So if you love something about him, you love something about yourself. If you don't like something about him, you don't like something about yourself. And that's why you come here, to figure out what it is you don't like about yourself and what do you want to work on. I hope you got a lot of good information today. Please like, subscribe, share. Trying to build up my followers on YouTube to match my Instagram followers. It's a tall order because I got a lot of them over there. But I know it's happening slowly and steadily. So please share my page with people if you think that the messages would be helpful to them. If you would like a personal reading, hit me up, tunedintarot@gmail.com, and we will get you sorted. I also have a couple of workshops coming up I am working on, however slowly. I want to do a good job with them, and I really want them to be very helpful. But I'm going to do a music production for women workshop where you'll produce one of your own tracks within 4 sessions, and then using the tarot for growth and expansion. And both workshops are going to focus on intuition, the power of the divine feminine, bringing the divine feminine into music production because she's not there. 98% of music production is dominated by the divine masculine. That is not fair. That doesn't make any sense. So I want to teach music production from a completely different perspective, and that's my goal with that. And I want to teach about balance in both courses. So stay tuned for all of the fun and interesting things that you can be a part of in this fabulous year of 2021, where we saw an insurrection. I like it to say that I lived through the insurrection, that our police forces treated like a fun party, just a fun party time in Washington. Anyway, I hope you all have a lovely day today. Take care.